I am going to be posting more of my approach logs this week, so you can follow along with what I am actually doing out there. I also have a few more sessions planned, and even a date that came directly from Cold Approach, which I will share soon. If you want to hear more, just comment or subscribe so you catch the updates when they come out. Let me explain why I believe a Cold Approach group chat is not just helpful but required if you want to approach consistently over the long term. Approaching women regularly is one of the strangest and most unnatural things you can choose to do in modern society. Nobody encourages it, nobody celebrates it, and most of the time your environment tells you to stay quiet. If you try to do this all by yourself, you will eventually burn out. At first, motivation might carry you for a few weeks, maybe even a few months. But when the rejections pile up and the successes are rare, it is too easy to stop. A group chat gives you accountability that no motivational video or book can replace. When you post your approaches in a group, even if they are simple and short, you are telling other people you did the work. That act makes the habit stronger because now you are not hiding. Without that, you might approach today, then skip tomorrow, and slowly disappear from the process. The group keeps you visible, and visibility keeps you honest. I have been approaching for 6 years, and most of my consistency has come from having others to talk to. The number of rejections I have had is enormous, and I would have quit if I did not have other men sharing their numbers, their stories, and their struggles. Alone, rejection feels heavy and permanent. In a group, rejection becomes something lighter that you can move past. The truth is that rejection feels different when you know 5 other guys are out there collecting the same kind of no's. It stops being about you personally and becomes about the process. That shift is what allows you to go out again tomorrow without overthinking. Now, I should mention something about Telegram chats. You probably know the ones I am talking about. There are endless groups floating around on Telegram with hundreds or even thousands of guys in them. On the surface, it looks like community, but in reality, most of those chats are just random noise. Guys post memes, arguments, screenshots, and all kinds of distractions. It is more about dopamine and scrolling than about actually approaching women. I have been in those Telegram groups before, and you quickly realize that hardly anyone is actually reading what you post. Most of the time you are throwing your words into a black hole of banter. It might feel like connection, but it is not helping you walk outside and approach. That is the key difference. You do not need another app feed filled with random BS. You need a place that keeps you focused on logging approaches and staying consistent. A smaller focused group chat works because everyone is doing the same thing and nothing extra. You log your approaches, you share short tips, you check in, and you keep moving. That is what builds consistency. You do not need constant chatter, you need accountability. One quote that comes to mind is from Epictetus, who said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Cold approach is really about that. And one way to help yourself stay steady is by having a group that keeps you aligned with the habit instead of pulling you into distractions. Consistency in cold approach is not about streaks, it is about normalization. When you are in a group where everyone is approaching, rejection stops being scary because it is simply expected. You stop asking, "What if she says no?" because you already know she probably will, and that is okay. The group chat is required because it gives structure to an otherwise chaotic practice. Cold approach without structure turns into long breaks, excuses, and eventually quitting. With structure, you can measure yourself, you can track yourself, and you can laugh at yourself along the way. I have seen men who were completely isolated try to approach for a few weeks and then vanish. I have also seen men inside small group chats keep going for years because they had brothers who reminded them of the bigger picture. The difference is massive. When you post your numbers daily, you create a rhythm. That rhythm removes the drama and the overthinking. It stops being, "Should I approach today?" and becomes, "How many did I do today?" That simple shift keeps you moving forward long after motivation fades. If you want to get serious about this, find or build a group chat. It does not need to be fancy or filled with features. Ours is bare bones on purpose. We log approaches, we share short tips, we check in, and we keep each other moving. That is all you need. I have been doing this long enough to know that the group chat is the difference between quitting after one bad week and staying in the game for years. The chat does not make rejection disappear, but it makes rejection normal. It makes rejection something you can laugh about instead of something that destroys you. So if you are struggling with consistency, the answer is not another video, not another book, and not another motivational phrase. The answer is other people doing the same thing beside you. That is why a cold approach group chat is required. If you want to join a group like that, there is a link in my bio. Our chat is small, raw, and focused only on the essentials. Logging your approaches, sharing experiences, and supporting each other when the motivation drops. It is for like-minded guys who want to stay consistent, nothing more and nothing less.